afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another riveting, another amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods. The setting is 1944, somewhere close to the German border. The Americans are making another push under the command of the experienced commander Forrest, pushing ahead here with the 2nd Armored Division versus the north. You got Angreifen fighting for Germany, Deutschland, the Oberkommando West forming up a Kampfgruppe from the 21st Panzerdivision, with Spec Ops, Breakthrough, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Double Infantry Raketenwerfers versus Airborne Infantry and Heavy Cavalry there for Forrest with Triple Infantry. Starting out with the Double Infantry side here, Forrest moves ahead aggressively for America, Freedom, Democracy, but at the same time securing the calf point here against any potential rest from there from Angreifen, who's setting out here with Volksgrenadier, Sturmpioniere, and a Kubelwagen, allowing them to play Sturmpaniers much more aggressively as the Kubelwagen then, of course, helps secure territory. More Raffen out there for Forrest, for America, Freedom, Democracy. And there you go, first engagement already happening here. Sturmpionier versus Rifleman. Rifleman, they're quickly falling back, realise that they cannot win that engagement due to the, well, Sturmpaniers being heavy cover. And we could somehow, fight them from a longer range. You might have a chance, but it still requires heavy cover. Fortunately, moving in here to put more pressure there. And that could definitely, I think, turn that engagement sour here. But there you go, second half coming up, flanking on the Sturmpaniers from another position. Very good, and there you go, that's going to force Angreifen to fall back here. And then we got the Kubelwagen joining in the front here. Just quite rapidly getting rather involved in there. He goes using the Kubelwagen to disrupt the formation of the Raffen, allowing the Sturm to do more damage. He would actually push them in close to get more damage in there, but decides not to. More forces are arriving for Angreifen, but they're not, I think, going to arrive to the scene soon enough. Sturmpaniers have to retreat. The Kubelwagen does successfully repulse the remaining Riflemen, but not the super most smooth, efficient engagement for him. Third Rifle Squad almost done for Forrest. For the 2nd Armoured. Kubelwagen driving away, and we can see that Angreifen's going to go straight for the calf point. Just as Forrest gains the fuel point. Of course, it's going to be right next to his opponent's base. It's going to be tricky to hold that for long, but even then, it could force, of course, Forrest to have to gaze much closer to his base for some time, meaning Angreifen can more safely just secure the rest of the map. Sturmpanier is actually grabbing the fuel point there. He's basically working on the assumption that nothing's going to happen around here, otherwise he could risk losing that unit, which would be, I think, quite harmful there for Angreifen. Rifleman charging the Kubelwagen not being taken out, need to fall back fast. Rifleman doing what they can, Fulton is as well. And the Kubelwagen is down quite a lot of Angreifen in the early game, but still. And looks like the point wasn't even rendered neutral, so while he did do some damage, in the end he might have just suffered more for it than he actually gained. But in the end, Angreifen does go up. He in fact goes for the point. He lays down sandbags right next to his opponent tank trap, almost like, just, an insult like, yeah, we see what you did, Sim. We can do better. Forrest committing to infantry doctrine. An interesting choice here. And of course, it's going to be a question here for Forrest. I don't figure out what his opponent is going for. Heavy cavalry, infantry. I mean, most players who go for heavy cavalry, though, tend to be more, they go straight for the Pershing, they can do anything else. So, might just be a giveaway here that's going for infantry, because Angreifen might just, have to assume it could still be heavy cavalry. But once those Brian light machine guns start tapping, I imagine they will. Of course, it's going to know for sure. But until then, there might just be a bit of, shall we say, lack of certainty there from Angreifen. Otherwise, it'll be interesting. He actually goes for the mortar after he hits the bombard Angreifen. Or if he just decides to ignore that one in particular. Fuel point image scope with the Rifleman. Sturmpanier is back for reinforcement. Battle Group Headquarters up there for Angreifen and the 21st Panzerdivision. Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. Point is secured by the Volksgrenadiers. Sandbags well laid up here. Overwatching the entire area. I like the scenery, yeah, but I like shooting Americans in it even more. Lieutenant moving up, in fact, attacking this position on the ridge there. Negative cover versus heavy cover. Pretty good stuff there for Angreifen. In this case, though, the lieutenant still was able to pass through. He just retreats with the arrival of the 2nd squad. Otherwise, an incendiary grenade might just have been enough. More tank traps, more barbed wire. I mean, Forrest is an absolute machine when it comes to this. He is thorough. He is disciplined. He might have had just gone through, tough, rigid training exercise. We had a, drill sergeant just shout at him all the time to, build tank traps, maggot. Wired up, maggot. And of course, tonight, long, grueling marches after that. I mean, you know, hard training there for Flores. Hard training. There's they're being attacked by Volksgrenadiers. Up here we got troops reinforcing healing for Angreifen for the German army. He might consider some machine gun to sort of slow down Flores' play. We got a lieutenant down here out as well, just adding more pressure, adding more momentum, adding more tempo. Got the folks of this Rifle. I think should have a good chance here. Heavy cover versus light cover. But Angreifen once more standing here the car fight, this time with Sturmpioniere. Might have a small chance of getting the reasons here actually, which would certainly help slow down Flores a bit. I mean, it's not quite as big a loss, say, you know, to the Americans, say, you know, say wiping up Pioneer Squad and Unit Squad for the other armies, because they aren't, say, nearly as important in building stuff. Like, you don't need them for your critical base structures. So, of course, he's going to lose an ability to repair a bazooka team essentially, and you know, some other bits. So it's, of course, not completely, you know, harmless what he did there, but it's not, say, nearly as impactful, say, you know, doing it on, say, the Soviets or the Wehrmacht. It's a little fun note there. Anti-aircraft that's following up here. Flores is just, of course, following here, in this case, the usual steps. Ambulance as well. Very good there. Very good. Much more pressure. In the west here, we got the Volkswagen of Rifle here. Overall, Sturmgewehr fire proves to be superior. And back here, healing reinforcement on there for Angreifen again. Got Kedman on the way. He's obviously expecting a light vehicle there from 4S. It does not want to be caught unawares, off guard, with an anti-aircraft traffic against them. 4S is replacing the Resident squads though, certainly highlighting how much he likes them. Schumann up there, good position. Sandbags up here. Angreifen certainly showing he can do it as well. It's almost like just all of 4S's tank traps and sandbags is causing Angreifen just, you know, counter do it as well. Just, you know, make sure to show he can do it as well. I mean, it's of course no bad thing to do that, but it's just sort of funny to see how it almost appears like that. Lots of sandbags, lots of tank traps. Troops reinforcing, got the half to ring about here. Scanning for Krauts. It's going to hit the mine there, but Angreifen's going to be like anyway to just finish it off here. Which of course are going to be a bit unfortunate for him. We got Luftwaffe here for Angreifen, so it's Luftwaffe versus Infantry. Like Kevin, they're trying to rush their aircraft half-take, run straight into Rifle Squad, and with nothing to support it. And it's going to be a retreat there, so that half just going to be able to get back safely and repair. At most, Angreifen just bought himself some time, and extending the sandbag position is interesting. I mean, that's essentially, I think, 4S, but he's adding a bit of his own there to help defend more from southern attacks. And there we go, Browning light machine guns up the Rifle. I wouldn't be surprised if 10 also at one, or at least would get one. That's a lot of firepower there, and Angreifen very wisely retreats here, and of course, this also tells him that 4S has gone for infantry. So he doesn't have to worry about Pershings or Rangers or combined arms, not that any American player uses the last one. At least if they do, they are a very rare breed of American player. Rifle versus Fultz going to do here, heavy fire being delivered back and forth. Relentlessly so. In these, we've got the Fultz up behind the heavy cover again. We got lots of rifle just standing out in the open. Air support called in now. Nice move here. Basically, what he's doing here is just minimize the incoming fire there. And whoa, the anti-aircraft took down the Stuka just as it threw down the smoke. Close one there. Still, he was able to save as many of the Fultz guns as possible, preserving manpower there. Good play there by Angreifen. Certainly also shows he's not taking the brown light machine guns lightly at all. So really nice use of the smoke there. Really nice usage. 50 calibers on the way there for Flores. Good choice. Angreifen might consider some MG-34s, but if he's going for Luftwaffe, he might just go for Fallschirmjaegers. Been seeing him play a lot of Luftwaffe lately, and he actually tends to go for the Fallschirmjaegers as much as possible there. Fortunately, they're pushing back the Rifle successfully, overwhelming them with sheer belief in Endsieg. Rifle retreating, the kid was running up, they're going to try and ambush the half track. If he can set it up correctly. Angreifen. There we go, there we go. And the other Kednev wasn't quite set up for it. The half track escapes, and of course now he knows that Angreifen's going to be running about with his Kednev is looking for the half track. 50 coming up here. And we got some good action on the right side as Flores is just pressuring Angreifen's right flank. Fallschirmjaegers being called in. Could be aggressively. Could be defensively. Wow, that's an aggressive drop there. Right on the enemy's carve point, right next to the point there. A bold drop here from Angreifen. Fuel cache down here in the west. We got the 50 cal there pushing back. The Folk's going to deal it. And there you go, hitting the carve point there. We can see Forrest returning the favour there to Angreifen. Forrest, Angreifen needs to get back one of the fuel points, so he's actually quite behind Forrest there. Fallschirmjaegers ambushing it up. Riflemen in there looking for those goddamn Krauts. Where did they go? Goddamn Krauts hiding about. Sturmplan is going for the white. People Lieutenant is attempting it, but Sandy doesn't quite have it for him. Still, Forrest is planning to, I think, pull it as fast as possible with a lot of armour and just crush Angreifen with it. Having aiming hard for the fuel point, and of course going for the fuel cache. Overall, long-term strategy here. Mines up this well from Forrest. Excellent play, and there you go. Bang grenade pushing back the rifle here, defending at least that part of the point. Though he needs to get that one back as well. Back here, reinforcement. Angreifen should probably consider taking up sooner, going for maybe a flak after to come to the anti-aircraft after. And Forrest is just piling on. He's going for a second fuel cache. Wow, he really wants some tanks out and maybe some other things here versus Angreifen. And Forrest is just blasting it. Goddamn Krauts, they're hiding in the wood. Fire! There's nothing there, Sarge. Just keep firing. They're invisible. They're magical Nazis. Moving up here, Fallschirmjaegers one standing about. Sad another kid was nearby, but they're right next to the Fallschirmjaegers just hiding out in, well, essentially nothing, but somehow they're still managing it. I came with a spot repulsed. It's just goddamn Krauts. Where are they? They could be everywhere. They could be right behind that bush. There you go, Panzerfaust off in a half track. He can't finish it off, but still, I mean, it does leave Forrest, I imagine, a bit paranoid about the terrain. In the west, this Sturmplan pushing the rear echelons, fighting for the western fuel point. In there you go, 50 cover could get wiped out. It's actually negative cover. Already taking damage. Sturmplan's arriving here. Maybe not, maybe not. Or maybe it is. Oh. 50 cover, what? Bit of loss there for Forrest. Definitely a small win there for Angreifen. And here, defense of the western fuel point. Still, with the double fuel caches, it's not going to hurt Forrest too much. Plus, it's got a nice chunk of the rest of the map. Now, in the 50 cover, we got the Lieutenant charging forwards. Flanked with another rifle squad. Got the 50 cover setting up, and that's going to Lieutenant here in negative cover. And there you go, quickly cutting down one of the bastards. And there you go, another loss there to the 50 caliber to the Mardus. Heavy casualties, heavy damage being inflicted there, leaving Forrest's men begging for mercy and salvation. Strap Panther quarters up there for Angreifen, and a Panther 4 as soon as possible would be good. Maybe a Panther instead. As for Forrest, I imagine the plan is to rush out armor as soon as possible. And he is in fact taking up there, very good. Rifleman slipping out to the Fallschirmjaegers. Okay, they're opening up. Lieutenant could see him wiped out here, and yes, dead. Another loss there for Forrest, lost the 5th cap, and then the Lieutenant. That's actually a notable advantage here for Angreifen. That is several units gone. McKenna's reposition, got the half-tech nearby, but of course has to be careful, otherwise he loses the half-tech on top of that, and that would be very bad. So Scrap 100 quarters up. Can't mean to go for anything from it, except maybe Obersoldaten, but if he's going for Fallschirmjäger, he probably just want to go for another Fallschirmjäger squad rather than trying for another Obersoldaten here. Comes on the move, on the hunt, on the prowl. And once... oh! Got the half-tech finally, crashes almost into a boat, but managed to stay clear of it. And there we go, another Fallschirmjäger squad out here for Angreifen. Another group of elite Luftwaffe infantry dropping in from above. Imagine somewhere around the fuel point, yes indeed. Angreifen boldly dropping in there. Pushing ahead here, finding the west. 50 cal there joining in and quickly murdering several riflemen in short amounts of time. Very good play there. Angreifen is just overwhelming Forrest's front line here with expert attacks. Moving over from the fuel point to quickly focus on the rifleman there. Good prioritization there, I think, by Angreifen. Sherman all the way here for Forrest. That's going to be, I think, a problem there for Angreifen since he doesn't have any armor. Of course, he's got the both Kitten Effers, but They're a bit scattered. And I don't think can offer effective resistance. There you go, Rifleman retreating. There we go, he's using Valiant Assault to ensure the wipe. Oh, Angreifen, you devilishly beautiful bastard. He used Valiant Assault here to ensure a wipe. Excellent work there by Angreifen. Another wipe here for Fortress. He is suffering brutally here to Angreifen. To the 21st Panzer to be shown here, backed up by elite men of the 3rd Fallschirmjaeger Regiment. Fuel pump being secured. Sherman almost done there for Fortress. Of course, there's going to be a problem there for Angreifen. There you go, Rifleman in front here. Valiant Assault used valiantly to defend as well. The Rifleman just quickly getting dropped there. I mean, just notice how much damage the Fallschirmjägers are doing here. The Rifleman are taking heavy damage. Of course, the Fallschirmjägers will retreat now as the Sherman was moving in there, but still, that was some severe damage. Wiped one unit, almost wiped out another one. And we got a smoke recons in here, possibly to cover the retreat of the Fallschirmjägers. Oh! Angreifen, well played again, you cheeky bastard. Except, of course, for the lack of fuel, but, you know, that's another story. But in this case, Major on the retreat path. Trying for the wipe, but doesn't get it. Full retreat here. Angreifen's front, though, is collapsing in the face of the Sherman. The Detroit Steamroller. Let's go there for Angreifen. On the other hand, if you can avoid any severe casualties and just, you know, stabilise the front, you should have an advantage because he's still got a larger force and, of course, wipe more stuff for 4S's. So right now for 4S's, again, I'm back just doing as much damage as he can with the Sherman before it's too late. There we go, caught by the spare punted quarters. And quickly falls back here, going for the calf point, trying to just stall Angreifen's economy. And again, just try and rely on the fuel advantage you had to compensate for the heavier losses he suffered. 50 calibers, lieutenants, riflemen. He is, of course, replacing the units lost. Very good there. And, of course, replacing the lieutenant is usually pretty good. Going for more riflemen as well. Sehr good, sehr good. Just grabbing as much as possible, cutting off as much as possible. You get for the main cutoff, then the secondary cutoff, if you will. But Kenner's pursuing the Sherman, trying to take it out. And instead, get outmaneuvered. Good play there by 4S. Second Academy effort there to cover the retreat of the first one. And probably compel 4S to pull back his Sherman. Angreifen not too far from the Sherman. The fuel-wise is still struggling to get there. 4S's fuel control is very dominant, very strong, and it's making it hard there for Angreifen to just pull for any panzers that he wants to. Fallschirmjägers moving up here, 2 kills. Rushing the position here with FT-42s drawn. Got the point there, hitting the western fuel point. The Sturmpioniere, we got mine down there for Forest, very good. Very good. Fixing up the Sherman. Fight for the same, we got the Fallschirmjägers with the Rifleman. Folks, there's a Rifleman here as well. A few skirmishes here and there. No decisive engagement, trying to catch here the Sherman with the Kidnap and maybe knock it out. Though with only one like Kem's going to be tricky, he might of course just force it to further pull back a bit, delay its full repair, buying himself more time for the tank. The Kedner's 5th gun, I think, being summoned towards here. There goes Sherman on the move. No munitions for grenades. He's going to need the 5th gun to quickly open up the rifle and flank them. Oh dear, might lose the Fallschirmjägers. There you go, Kedner's spotted, 5th gun setting up here. Sherman falling back in the face of this, and there you go, Rifleman suppressed. By the 5th gun. He lost another unit though somewhere. Thinks another rifle. Yeah, looks like a rifle squad bit the dust again. Too much going on there for 4S. Gardner Kedner, they're pretty good for him. But he's still behind, and there you go. Angreifen going for a Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. He is setting forth for glorious Panzer victory. At least attempting to. 4S, of course, not to be outdone, is going for Sherman more of his own. Very good work there, very good work. Quickly outmaneuvering my Kedner. There you go, troops moving up. They could Panzerfaust, they could double Panzerfaust it. Oh! Oh, Panzerfaust flubbed! Panzerfaust flubbed! The Sherman is still operable with a tiny sliver of health, and then the Kedner gets wiped out. He's going to have to get another Panzerfaust to do it. And he's taking too much damage in the process. The Sherman might just escape from this. Mine goes off, almost wiping out the full skeleton. The Sherman escapes after Panzerfaust turned out to be faulty. Panzer IV moving out for Angreifen. In the west we got Fallschirmjaegers, the lieutenant here. Wrong side of the cover though. Fixing up the Sherman, he's probably going to try and rush it with the Panzer IV, take it up. Bit risky there for Angreifen, but could work out. Oh, he's not using emergency repairs, at least, you know, pulling further back here. So still a chance that we've got the Sherman moving up, Rifle moving in, but still, it's going to be risky. It's going to be so risky. Yeah, he didn't go for emergency repairs. Other Sherman moving in. There he goes, just going to be able to protect the retreat here with the first Sherman. So close there for Flores. Damn close. Panzer IV opening up there. Shot fired there from the Sherman. Fails to hit the target entirely. Flores was reclaimed control of both fuel points here for Angreifen once more, allowing him to once more gain the fuel advantage, which is obviously what he wants. Quickly repairing both Sherman tanks, back here healing reinforcement. Fallschirmjaegers creeping ahead, they're very, very close to Veteran C2.
We're losing a capture point.
There you go, Rifle spotted here by the Panzer IV. Angreifen might want to go for a Panther next, or a Jagdpanzer to help deal with the arm a bit more specifically. I mean, the Panzer was of course already a good choice, but his opponent's going to get a lot more tanks than him. He might want to do was get something to do with the armor best. And there you go, almost getting another wipe here. Oh! No, this time fortune did favour Flores just a bit, avoiding the annihilation of another rifle squad, which I think would quite trigger there to compensate for. Moving up the 50 caliber there in the west, Fallschirmjaegers spotted by the Sherman and repulsed. Flores strikes for America, freedom, democracy. And there you go, a kidnap in the hands of Flores. Bad news for Angreifen, bad news for Germany. Artillery caught in the machine gun, he needs to get further in on the point to scrap the fuel. And there you go, goodbye to lightning on the rifleman. Oh! Almost got a wipe there, almost got a wipe, but once more escapes. Priest out for Flores, so double Shermans into Priest, interesting choice there. Sherman rolling ahead here against the Panzer IV. McKenna of his Panzer IV, they couldn't leave it in a bad spot. Other Sherman flanking in, they're getting behind the McKenna, have a good play there. Panzer IV off the Sherman down to less than half of it, just got to deal with the first one. So he's using the second one there to basically save the first one. He got into a bad spot again. Oh my goodness. This time though, he might actually end up losing a tank here to Angreifen. We got the Priest moving up. He's firing aggressively here at Angreifen. Smoke's running down, but I feel it's not going to save the Sherman. There you go. Pop goes the Weasel. Other one standing about. Only abandoned, but Angreifen takes no chances. Cooks it off entirely. I think he's firing at the base to try and wipe units inside of it. But he gets away with the other Sherman once more. Still some high risk stakes there before us, but he's somehow managing it. Like a juggler who's juggling Italian grenades. He somehow managed not to blow himself up yet. Fixing up the Sherman there. Veteran 3 Fallschirmjaegers pretty good there for Angreifen. Panther on the prowl, catching the lieutenant in a pretty bad spot, but he holds up behind the tank trap. Before then deciding he actually has to just run for it. There you go, rifling up the brown up machine guns, might try and tell the lieutenant to retreat by just offering up small targets. Sherman good to go. Priest awaiting another barrage. He can fire at the enemy. Expecting the arm moving up, he's in the cannon already. Good play there by Flores. There you go, Panther down to half health, Sherman advancing here in the wake of this. 200 points left here for Flores, so he needs to do something here to sort of turn that around against Angreifen. Priest is ready to fire once more on Angreifen positions. How will it go this time around? Sherman strength with Kednov into the second one as well. Nastier damage there. 50 cops caught the eastern victory point. Western fuel on the ground here by the Fallschirmjäger. However low condition they are. Lots of action here between these two veteran players. Sherman sitting out, and there you go. We got the Priest firing again, hoping to catch more units inside the base. Flores is nothing if not an optimist. And he's hoping he can fire from one end of the map to the other, and just while firing blind and hoping he can actually seriously catch a lot with it. Still, I guess he got something. Oh, Major caught. Oh, the vehicle crew is caught by the 50 caliber, almost taking it out here, which would actually prevent him from crewing the Sherman. Oh, scheiße. That would have been very awkward there for Flores if he'd lost the Sherman like that. We got valiant assault here from Angreifen again. Excellent work, excellent work. Panther almost good to go. Spreading out his forces a bit aggressively here. Charging forces looking to do as much damage with the Valiant Assault, which is, I think, definitely the right way to go about it. 3 kills on the Priest. And there you go, Pantherfaust on the Sherman. Cuff point, they're hit by Fortress's Rifleman. Good harassment there. Excellent play. Panther 4 there, good to go for Angreifen. Closing in eventually 2 back here, troops in reinforcing. Fallschirmjaeger approaching the 4th star. And then go full flank up in the major, but with that Valiant Assault, they don't quite have as much firepower as the others could have had. Panther 4 going straight for the fuel pond here to push out the Yankees from it. I imagine Ford is going to go for another Sherman. Of course, he might want to consider a Jackson. There you go. Kednev opening up the fuel cache, destroying some of Ford's resource infrastructure. Good decision there. The less fuel Fortress gets, the better for Angreifen. Priest is good to fire again. Full to the being obliterated here by the Sherman. And there you go. Kednev opening up on it. Close to losing himself another Sherman, but Forrest saves the day, or salvages it anyways. Undone right on control. There you go, second fuel cache down. Second fuel cache down. That's a notable loss there for 4S. Though I would argue he managed to get at least a decent amount of value out of them. Could this be a better barrage this time around? Closer one, he would mean more accuracy on the Priest barrage. Nope, he's firing straight into the base again. I mean, he could try and fight some of the units close to the front line that way, hoping to get some kills in, but seems like he's very much a dreamer here. I'm just a dreamer. I dream of exploding crowds. And then he ends up blowing up himself. Risky move that. I mean, if you're moving a Priest that close to the front line, it's because you're trying to hit something reasonably close anyways and murder it. Oh, but he got the Panther 4 off in return. That's actually a pretty good trade-off then for Forres. Not amazing. I mean, it's still pretty costly there, but, you know, could have been worse, I guess. Calling in another Priest here, though. Angreifen could benefit from a Panther here, though, of course, he could just well go for another Panzer 4. Sturmpioneer versus the Rifleman here, bit of skirmish on the right-hand side. I kept him backing up here to deal with the crouch, but he's not going to help much. The German pilots, I imagine, will lose out here to the Browning-wielding Rifleman. I mean, if they had a bit more veterans, I think they could have had a better chance. Of course, the arrival of the Volksgruppe is very much turn that around for Angreifen. 107 points left here for Forres, 105. Ooh, almost a wipe there. Angreifen's only been a bit hard hit for Forres to get any wipes on compared to vice versa, but Angreifen's repeatedly wiped Forres' units. There we go, 100 points left for Forres. Something drastic I think needs to happen now. Got a wipe though for once inside the base. Good work there for Forres. Good work. He still has a lot of units to kill, but it's a start. It's a start. Jumps in out here aggressively for America. Sherman's hit caught by the Sherman. Nice harassment here by Forres. Not to be deterred here by whatever Angreifen is doing. Whoa, something got sent flying there. Looks like a branch. Sometimes it's a corpse, sometimes it's a piece of debris, but often things just go flying. That's the Havoc physics engine for you. Oh, straight to the Fallschirmjaegers here, and about to give them veterancy free. More rifle out for Forres. Priest unleashing hell again. Forres once more proving himself to be very much an optimist in the field of artillery. Fallschirmjaegers there, close to being wiped out. In fact, could get wiped out, which was quite a loss there for... Oh, another attempt at smoke bombs. I like it. I mean, he's really trying to hit for some serious unit preservation, which you actually don't see from a lot of players, but he's actually using smoke to cover the retreat of his units, increasing the chances of not suffering heavy casualties when retreating them, which is really commendable, to be honest. You just so rarely see anything like that. So, I mean, 2 thumbs up there for Angreifen. And certainly something I think worth learning from for a lot of players. Back here, though, he might actually lose to the artillery. Oh, it seems like he got lucky and the barrage just wore off. He's got another Panzer IV. Sadly, no attempt at Panthers here for Angreifen. He seems to be very much a Panzer IV man. No Panzer V for him. Blah. Back here, point being secured with the Sturmpion unit. He's a bit more on the defensive now. Flores is starting to look a bit more stronger, more dominant. The Sherman in this case, I think, landing in quite a niche here when Angreifen didn't have to stop it. Panther IV down to half health. Again, I feel like Angreifen should be considering a Panther here. Veteran 5 Fallschirmjägers retreating, others sitting out here. And another Sherman for 4S. Clearly not too worried about the armour in that sense, he's just relying on the Stolen Kettenwerfer and his Sherman to deal with any Panzer IVs, while of course he's focusing on murdering the infantry just as much. So what will Angreifen do? Will he just commit to more Panzer IVs, or will he actually try and go for the Panther here? Priest at it once more. Bombarding the base again and again. McKenna sneaking up, they're going to try and take out that Sherman. There we go. He's one rocket, it seems like. Maybe he can't get it. No. Gets away, gets away. Close shave there for 4S, but in the end, the Sherman once more lives to see another day. Another Sherman arriving. Another Sherman arriving. There you go, Sherman rolling in rapidly, looking for some craps to blow up. 50 car being added as well, very good choice there. 50 car by the way, which is virtually free there for Angreifen being flanked. 11 kills, definitely not bad. Of course, got the Fallschirmjägers nearby. Lieutenant almost dying out again. Virtually 5 Fallschirmjägers on the move, but Kednev has spotted. Lots of action. The Sherman almost taken out. Oh, can't see it. Oh! So close to actually destroying the Sherman, but once more, he gets away. Pretty good there for 4S. Virtually 5 Fallschirmjägers there being overwhelmed by a large push here from 4S. And an artillery strike here, this time though with a Magian, not from the Priest. Who's getting ready to fire once more at the Germans and once more at the German base. Though we can see that Angreifen is just more instinctive now, beginning to just move them away from here to ensure they don't get caught by it. Close one there for the Fallschirmjäger, very close one. Push for the center, Panther moving westwards. He's not moving the Fallschirmjägers though. Are these things normally supposed to be exploding? Yeah, don't worry, it happens all the time in the Western Front. Guys, those Americans, they can't handle things if they aren't exploding. German there hitting the ace level, that's definitely bad news there for Angreifen, for the German army, for the 21st Panzer Division, but he might finally be able to finish it off, and oh no, the rocket misses! 4S's luck once more holds true. Whoa, stuff got some flying again, including some poor bastard. Panther IV rolling back. He's almost got enough for a Panther. He's got the fuel. He's almost got the manpower. He's got 4S down to 78 victory points. He's lost the Fallschirmjägers. When I imagine those were the ones standing on the base. He wasn't paying attention. Then he got obliterated by the Priest there. Possibly some other things. Got the Sherman setting out. Oh, another wipe here. Things are suddenly starting to get very unpleasant there for Angreifen. Panther delayed, and there goes straight to the Kidnapper. Needs to get out of there. Look, sook. About half a minute, possibly, maybe less, away from a Panther, if that is what he's aiming for. Nope, he's going for another Panther 4. I really think a Panther would help a lot more versus the Shermans. Mortally flying to the base.
We're down to 75 goddamn points.
75 points later for 4S.
Capture point is under attack.
73. Going for the victory point there with the Fallschirmjaegers. Panther 4 backing up. There we go, a nice hit. 4S should probably try to do something about the western fuel point. And Sherman straight to the Kidnappers and the Panther 4. Can he finish it off? Except like Ken's constantly going back to the can't actually get a hit. Oh! Might he finally get a Sherman? Oh! No! Yes! Sherman finally bites the dust! And then if I just keep finding that one instead of the other Sherman, allowing that one to get away. But he got a Sherman tank, and I think that's what matters right now for Angreifen. He's also more or less got control of almost all the 3 victory points. He just needs to capture the western one. And the bleed on 4S is certainly starting to get really noticeable. He's down to almost 50 victory points versus Angreifen's 261. That's definitely a hole that needs to be plugged there for 4S.
Overrunning one of our capture points.
Following up with another 50 caliber here versus all the infantry. Though Angreifen actually starting to get shot on that as well. In fact, he's starting to get short on a lot of things.
Like a stuffed pig. We're down to 50.
50 points in fact left now here for 4S for the 2nd Armoured Division.
Supply line just got cut off.
And they're proud for crabs, and they're good just retreating.
Losing a capture
You might want to consider a smoke bomb here. And I think it's going to be too late now. I also think he's not paying attention. That'd be his 2nd Falcon squad there, by the way, biting the dust. In the centre, pushing forwards there. In the west, also engagements happening. Panther hit a mine. There you go. Artillery called in on the centre victory point. And it looks like he's finding the priest pretty close there. In fact, yes, needs to deny the victory point there to the opponent. Starting to use it more like an assault gun. And gets the weapon, the unit. Good God. That's another one. In fact, Angreifen's barely got any infantry left now. He needs to make up for that and make up for that fast. 50 points still left still here for 4S. He is holding on. Panther 4 going in, they catch some infantry out in the open, pushing them back. 13 kills for Deutschland. Got the 5th cavalry as well. Panther 4 continues to roll ahead. Need to be careful, need to be careful. Strength to the Kidnapper, gaining veteran 3. Good work there by 4S. Less amazing there by Angreifen. Oh, the Fallschirm's moving up before they're fully reinforced. Pretty risky there, pretty risky. Other Panther 4 is bereit, and here in the east we got fighting position up to defend the eastern fuel point. Good work there by 4S, good work, and the 5th cavalry number 2 goes down.
We lost a gun crew.
He just needs something to grab it with, because he can't use the Fallschirmjaegers. Might want to use some of those fresh Fultz grenadiers maybe. Baltalanung on the Kidnapper. Oh, 9! Not the Fallschirmjägers! Just the hit veteran 5. And they get obliterated. Oh my God. Angreifen is barely holding on. The infantry is being obliterated in a faster pace than actually replace it. This is starting to look grim for the 21st Panzer Division. Unfortunately, they're trying to get out the 50 cavalry. They're instead taking too much damage to get to do it. He's got the centre one, but he's about to control that. His troops are getting hammered by artillery fire as 4 is starting to use it a lot better. Charging in the major here, western fuel point needs to be grabbed as well. But Angreifen again is really short on infantry. He's flanking with the Panther 4 here. Not bad, but without more support, it's getting a bit risky there as well. Now like turns back to deal with the Panther 4 as well. Oh, lucky him. Shot bounced. Veterans 1 gain there, 216 versus 50. Other Panther 4 moving in. Oh no, and we got a Jackson out as well here for 4S. Really bad news there for Angreifen. Really bad news. Great though for 4S. Great. Even amazing. Might be able to catch up with the kidnappers. There we go. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. There we go. Jackson down. 4S got a bit too cocky here. Angreifen saw an opportunity and wasted it. That is, the Jackson, he did not waste the opportunity. The Fallschirm is dropping in here. Going to go for the western field point. He's quickly being out here in the face of 4S and the second armoured. Artillery fire raining down again. Oh, straight into the victory point. Almost wipes the Fallschirmjägers. He might even get like kidnappers. 9. Absolute brutality here and disturbingly effective use of the priest all of a sudden here from 4S. But definitely good use of it by now. Much more precise, much more, you know, directed, and actually a lot more lethal. Smoking on the centre victory point, not bad. 50 caliber rifle in the west. Pinning down 2 full squads there, at least in a matter of moments. Both Panzerwalls down, it repairs. And shammering in, and the ace is on the field. Almost got the centre victory point back here. Human force going on there for 4S. Not 4S, but Angreifen. His battle group headquarters is barely standing, as is. Panzer being caught catching the Lieutenant here up by his upgrade with a brown light machine gun. Good choice there by 4S. Might try and clear out the flank position here, but he is bleeding out fast. He's down to 139 versus the 50 of 4S. Shem going in for the Panzer IV. The kidnappers nearby, veteran 4 included here, which does some more range. There we go, nice hit. But we got Emula kidnappers as well here. Fallschirm makes it as the echelons. Veterans 1 gain, like Kevin Center spot it. Pushing back the echelons there.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Priest unleashing hell here. This time looks like it's just going to another base barrage. Almost got the battle group headquarters though. 109 left around guy from 109. Holding up the 50 caliber. Here we get the Panther from the north. There you go, Raven caught out in the open. Panther opening up. Troops being murdered here at a very aggressive pace. Shooting them out into the western right, and there goes suppressing them as well. 18 kills, definitely have an impact there on 4S, but he's calling in artillery on the 50 caliber. Push for the eastern point again. Fighting position remains. Got the Sherman, got a Kevin nearby as well. This is really bad for the Panther 4. Quick loss here. Trying to blitzkrieg. It might not be happening fast enough here. Angreifen and Panther 4 down. Notable blow here to the German army. Kevin for flanking the A's, but it's not enough. In the west, hit push happening through despite all the artillery called in. Angreifen still super short on infantry. And everything else. Down to 67 versus 4 versus 50. Time is running out here for Angreifen for the 21st Panzer Division. Priest is actually getting very close to veterancy too.
We're losing a capture point.
Need to cover this precision unit though, he could be caught by a tank. Oh dear. Could have been misclick, could have been a bit of boldness here all the way. Priest down. Not good. Heading for the centre victory point here, 53 versus 50. 50 caliber here covering up the Panther 4. We need to fall back, and there you go. Artillery called in. And the Panther 4's down to half health. It's veteran 4 as well. Fight for the centre folks, so this is the rear. Major charging in. And we got smoke bombs called in. It's probably to see off the 50 caliber machine gun support. Nice play there, Fallschirm up the Asians. They're being blasted apart by the Panzer 4. 26 kills. Almost got the Major. Astrium moving up. Western victory point being grabbed here. 50 caliber moving up, and then 5 minutes grabbing it. The Kidnap creeping up. Unit wiped out here. The Major's bit. The Dust. And there go. The Sham's charging in the Panzer 4. Panther 4 here might be able to slow down the Kevin up and the Panther 4. Kevin need to turn out here with a Sherman. Panther Force almost down here. Troops being murdered left, right, and centre. 53 versus 42. Everything's hanging in the balance here. Ah, he's losing another Fallschirmjäger squad. Bit the dust in service of Germany. And looks like the ace Germany escapes once more. Panther Force, the routes have rushed in with nary any health left. Oh dear, we got a Jackson. Oh, he's going to lose the Panther Force to this. Oh, it misses. Eats the Blitz, Angreifen. Blitzkrieg! Get us out of here, Helmut! Scheiße! Kaboom! Gained the ace level right before getting utterly knocked out there by the Jacks. Not good there for Angreifen. You could try and go for armor, but the problem is things are so low there, the question is going to help. But at the same time, you can't really deal with the fighting position without a tank there, I think, increasingly. The unit's getting blasted apart there, 50 versus 42. Destroying my Kedner for there. 42 kills on those riflemen. Fallschirmjäger strong right behind him, but right in front of the Sherman, the ace Sherman with high explosive rounds. He's going to have to retreat. Uksuk. Oh no, they're going to get wiped. There we go. 380 manpower just down the drain. Not good. 20 kills in that 50 caliber. Not bad, but the rest of the situation, I think it's safe to say, is pretty bad for Angreifen. Pretty damn bad. He's barely got anything left. West Flores still has a reasonable sized force. His battle group headquarters is gone. He's not going to try and take out the fighting position, but he's about to lose the western victory point in the process. Pop goes that. Return moving about. Troops healing. Well, not healing actually. They can't. Reinforcing they are though, but no healing. The battle group headquarters is long gone. 29 points versus 42. 27. Air recon called in here. 25. 23. 21. 18. Trying to up the foot conditions here, but this is pretty much GG. Crashing them a bit here. The Kedmer's basically just blocking them from grabbing the point and rendering neutral. 9 points. 6. 3 and game over. GG, a victory here for Flores. Well played by him. So I know some good efforts there by Angreifen, but I feel like in part he committed too much to Panzer Force. Should have probably considered Panther Jagdpanzer. And at times I think also suffered a bit from tunnel vision. Didn't try to outmaneuver his opponent much, but also done with some more mines. Or maybe at least some light artillery. I mean, in this regard, Flores did, slowly but surely turn the priest into a better tool there against Angreifen. Angreifen was a bit lacking there in the combined arms suite. Still a brutal and effective match here on Crossing in the Woods. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Also, a big thanks to Julian for pledging on Patreon and supporting the Propagandacast, allowing me to pump out more glorious Company 2 videos to all of you. So thank you, Julian, and thanks to everybody else who's supporting the Propagandacast. Might consider it. You can also do it yourself. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Cheers. Thank you for watching, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.